Imagine that each one of these red dresses blowing in the wind along the south end of the Nanaimo Parkway was worn by an Indigenous woman or child. Now imagine that woman leaving home, or that child walking to school one day and never being seen again. This is a reality in Canada. A 2012 RCMP report shows that a total of 1,181 Indigenous women and girls were murdered or went missing between 1980 and 2012. Those numbers continue to grow.
Can we stop? Sure.
Tom Rokeby is here today taking down the dresses that he and his family hung on October 4th.
If something like this happened to my daughter, I would really hope that it wouldn't be swept under the carpet, that there would be serious efforts made to come to some kind of a conclusion for these families. We can't bring them back, but closure and prevention, these things have been left aside as far as I'm concerned. There's one up here on this tree. Do you want to get it?
The Red Dress Project was an art installation created by Jamie Black, a Métis artist based in Winnipeg. Her aim was to provoke and incite dialogue. It started in 2010 and has been working its way at a grassroots level across the country ever since. Tom and his family and friends hung 10 dresses, and more have been added. It was important to him that these dresses didn't become damaged by vandalism or weather.
These women have had such little dignity. These individual dresses, they all make me think of an individual citizen that we lost. I don't want them to be up there undignified. And as soon as the weather or anything made the display not what it could be, I was determined to take it down. All right, you gonna bring that to Mom?
The RCMP report shows half of the women murdered in Canada are Aboriginal. Indigenous women and girls make up 4.3% of the Canadian female population, but 11.3% of the murdered or missing. Anissa White is with the Coordination Committee for Domestic Safety and is from the Cree Métis Nation.
I think there are a few things going on. Recently in the Truth and Reconciliation final report, what was said in respect of missing and murdered women was that there is a connection between Indigenous women, residential school, and the complex interplay of poverty and domestic violence.
And unless you've known somebody.
Anissa says there is mixed feelings about the value of a national inquiry within the First Nation community. Some feel that an inquiry would answer some of the systemic aspects of why the incidents occur and the rate at which they occur. Others feel that a solution-based inquiry would be more beneficial. Ann Taylor is the executive director at Haven Society in Nanaimo.
Well, the question I would ask people is to consider if this was 100 or 1,017 affluential white men in our culture, would we be responding in the same way? You know, I think the other thing that's particularly important is that we're very concerned about what we call victim blaming. So we're always concerned about the ways that women in general are held responsible for violence that truly is not their responsibility. And I think the whole issue of Aboriginal missing, murdered women and girls is probably one of the highlight examples of the ways that we in our culture blame the victim for the violence that they are victimized by.
Cousins is one of the missing women.
Both Ann and Anissa agree that events like the Red Dress Project are positive steps towards opening productive dialogue. It's something that Tom Rokeby believes all Canadians should care about.
These are all individuals. These were somebody's daughter, somebody's wife, somebody's sister, and now they're not with us. And that should concern us as Canadians. Can you bring that to Mom?
What started out as a family project in Nanaimo grew into a community expression of caring and desire for closure. Tom plans to hang more red dresses next year. In Nanaimo for Shaw TV, I'm Kate Bergen.